People, how are you all today? I am feeling excited and happy and wonderful and a little bit worried because I've got one of the greatest musicians ever to grace this planet sitting on Zoom with me now. He's come back for some more torture with me. Yes, we had him on a few weeks back. He's back on again. He's flexing his muscles. He is ready to go. It is Dennis Stratton. Dennis, how you doing, man?
I can't get over your introductions. They're fantastic. I'm going to do this every day.
The rest of the show is rubbish, but my introductions are great, aren't they?
Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant.
We meet again. We'll have to do this on a weekly basis, won't we? It's getting a bit much now.
Great.
Yeah. My wife will start talking. Who are you speaking to now today? Dennis again. Oh, yeah. You and him. Yeah. No, we're not. All right, love. We're not. We don't go that way. But so it's good.
We meet up in a little Norfolk village somewhere for lunch. Yeah.
We should do that because you, as you told me last time, you got a few connections, especially up at East Runton and stuff like that, where you used to play, West Runton, around that sort of area.
Yeah.
So when did you last come down to Norfolk?
Last summer, we did. Me and Julia did a trip right around the Norfolk coast from Yarmouth right away round to Dunstannon. So I went to visit the old sites where I said my mum and dad's ashes are actually in East Runton, on the cliff by where the caravan site was, where we used to go summer holidays in when we were little. You know, all the cousins, all the aunts and uncles, and we used to take over the caravan site. And I must have been about 3 or 4, 5 years old, right away through to about 12, 13. We used to go there every 6 weeks holiday. So my mum and dad's ashes are up there. And last summer we decided to pack up everything in the truck and took the tent. And we started off in Yarmouth. We went right away round, got to East Runton. We were there for 2 nights in a campsite, tent camping. Then we went round the walls, saw all the sills around Blakeney. I think we went everywhere. Wells next to sea, right the way round. So it took us about 5 or 6 days to get right round, just taking our time. You know, I love it up there.
It doesn't get any better, does it? Well, I was at Hunstanton yesterday. Took me mother and took me wife to a little restaurant, a nice little one called Bernie Beans, and it's set in the 50s, all 50s music and stuff like that. We had afternoon tea and cake. That was lovely.
Yeah,
not very rock and roll, but I was with my mum, so it's only fair. So it was all good, mate. It was all good. And let's get back to rock and roll there. Dennis, just in case nobody was listening last time, which I'm sure they were, but can you explain what you've done in your time, what you're famous for?
Famous for? I suppose the first album that I made. I suppose it's famous for, but
I thought it was your modelling career because of those good looks. But if it's only the Iron Maiden, the first big album. So yeah, fair enough.
Well, you try, don't you? Go through the years as you mature, especially as with After Maiden, with Lionheart and Praying Mantis. So as we spoke about last time, doing all the Iron Maiden conventions in Europe and all that, and doing them shows, and it just keeps you all busy all the time,
It does. We were talking about that. There was, I think, was it Clairvoyant in Italy? Have I got that right? I think there was Blood Brothers over in Brazil. I believe we spoke about as well, and there were a few others.
Now in Italy, it's in the north. It's Children of the Damned, and in the south, it's Maiden Division. Oh, so there's 2 bands in Italy now. So yeah. So
what is your part? Do you come in and you tell them how it all goes and you show them how to play it, or what do you do?
The set I used to do with the Clairvoyants many years ago over in Italy, we have it on what they call it, some kind of hard drive thing, which is it's got the whole set on it. So basically, it's the first album. I'm sorry about this with these phones. The first album plus Rothschild, Killers, about 3 or 4 songs from Killers' album. That's what we do. We've added a few old ones like Sanctuary and Drifter to the set, which are old songs that I haven't played since the Marquee days. So basically what it was, as I say, it started off in Italy, but it's grown all over now, all over Europe, Bulgaria, went to South Africa. And it's the first album. But what normally happens, which is quite nice, is the band I play with are fantastic musicians, all different countries, countries and states in certain countries. And what they do is they go on stage for about 45 minutes, 40 minutes. And they're free to do any Maiden song they want. They can do anything from all the albums. So normally their set consists of things like 2 Minutes to Midnight, Aces High, Run to the Hills, and so on, so on. You know, Wasted Years. Oh,
It's
yeah,
yeah.
it's you know, The Evil That Men Do, the one with uh, what someone's following me. Someone, you know
Oh,
that
yeah.
song. Anyway, so they do their set. Um, and then when the crowd's warmed up after about 40 minutes, they introduce me and I come on and hopefully lift it up a little bit. And then I join them and we start with Prowler, then we go into Rothschild, then we go and off it goes. And it's fantastic. We've never had a bad show, I don't think.
And I'm presuming you sort of played these enough times to be on almost autopilot, I would have thought.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, I'll be honest with you, when this first happened, I'm going back sort of like 18 years. When I went to work with the Clairvoyants, their musicians were so top class that it felt like close your eyes, you were on stage with the original band, and
Wow.
they knew every note, every break, every solo. They copy down to the letter, down to every single note. It's note for note perfect. And excuse me. And then, of course, if you got another band in North or South of Italy, or another band in France, or as I say in Germany, it's Harris, Up the Irons, another two bands in Holland. Um, Basically, you should be able to close your eyes, and no matter what country you're in and what band you're playing with, it should sound exactly the same. If they've done their own work, if they've done their homework regarding learn the songs note for note, like we did in Italy, like we do in Holland, you play with the same band every night, although it's a different band. If you know what I mean, because it's a
Yeah.
Maiden set, and every song will sound exactly like the record. So you close your eyes, you should be able to play the whole set, no matter where you are. It's perfect.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah,
Pretty impressive
they
that
do
stuff.
their own work, these guys. Yeah.
And what do they just sort of write to you and say, "Well, look, we're a Maiden tribute. Come and check us out." And how?
Sometimes I also have people that I work with in Italy, most of the time in Italy and in Holland. The same guy that I work with in Maiden United that we'll talk about later. But it's the same thing. I'll get a call, an email, whatever, and then I'll say to whoever's there in Italy or whoever's, similar to when the Clairvoyants parted when they split up. Luca went on to join Doro, and Fulvio, who I work with in Italy, in Milan, at Como, and he said to me, "Look, the Clairvoyants are splitting up. Do you want to work with this band, Children of the Damned?" And I said, "You check them out." And he's over there. He can go and speak to them. He listened to them. In a way, he's auditioning them in a way to make sure that they're up to the standard of the Clairvoyants and the standard of Harris in Holland or Up the Irons. So you've got the same standard of musicianship in each band in each country. So they play the set perfectly.
Bloody brilliant. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. Yes, we will get on to the Maiden United in a minute. I know you're doing a few things, but more up to date. You're with Lionheart now, aren't you? Is that still the case?
Yeah. I've always been with Lionheart. Yeah, apart from the 15 years with Brian Mandis. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. How's it playing with them in transition to Maiden?
Well, I've always loved um, guitar harmonies and harmony vocals.
Hmm.
So yes, the time in Maiden was fantastic, as I've said. Um, it put me on a level of for getting your name known. Um, but I've always been into harmony guitars and American sounding bands like Toto, Foreigner, Journey, them sort of bands. So it's no secret that when we formed Lionheart, me, Steve, and Rocky. Steve Mann works with Schenker, Mike with Schenker. Rocky's working with a Grand Slam at the moment, just done their album. But me, Rocky, and Steve have always loved that harmony vocals, backing vocals, choruses, big choruses, anthems. and harmony guitars. So it wasn't hard for us to gel. And then after near the end of the 80s, becoming up to 1990, when I went in with Prayer Mantis, it's the same format: three backing vocalists, harmony guitars. So it goes without saying that that's my favourite sort of lineup, my favourite sort of like music that I can listen to and play, and I feel easy with it because it's what I love doing. And so with Lionheart, it's no secret, as I say, it's full on backing vocal. That's why you need a very, very good lead vocalist to get above the three-part harmony that are on the choruses, which is me, Steve, and Rocky. So that's why we got Lee Small in, because Lee has a fantastic voice.
And well, look,
So, yeah.
you talk the talk. Let's see if you can walk the walk. I'm going to listen to some of you guys now.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this track on. Okay, called Little Ships. I haven't heard it yet, so we're gonna play that, and we'll be back after some Little Ships. Speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Okay, tell me